Hi there, happy Wednesday. It's Lisa, and it's time for you to pick a card, one, two, or three, and I am going to do reading for you. Whatever number you choose is your special message. However, all three cards will hold something for you. I am going to be reading out of the Animal Tarot card deck today by, of course, my favorite author, Radleigh Valentine. I heart him. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. If you chose number one, your card is number 6, the Lovers. Look at those lovely, lovely, lovely flamingos. Look at that water flowing, the butterfly. I mean, this is just a beautiful, beautiful card. It's also a major card, so it's talking about something on your life's journey, something very impactful. And excuse me. This card wants to remind us to follow our heart. You might be going through some decision making, and really your guides want to remind you to go ahead and just calm yourself, calm your head, go into meditation where you're really not using this so much. You're being really more guided by your heart and your feelings to make that decision. You need to make sure that you keep those balanced. Look at them after all. They are balancing there. So it's definitely a sign to remain balanced while you're going through this. One of the ways I've seen to remain balanced also is when you look at things, don't look at them as either good or bad. Look at them like both the good and the bad is what the lesson is, or what's for you. You have to take the good with the bad, because as they say, you can't, feel. You don't know the full extent of joy if you haven't felt some sorrow. Okay, so don't judge this. Stay in the middle with this, in the balance. However, in the past, you might have had some sort of a relationship. It even could be with yourself, but I feel like it's more with someone else that was very impactful, that's left you with kind of a hole in your heart and a space that needs a lot of forgiveness put into it. So the way to heal that is through forgiveness, not just for someone else, but also for yourself. We're not always our best when we go through these things, but that's why we go through them. We're learning. So while you're at, going through that heartfelt forgiveness, make sure that you have plenty of it for yourself. That's really going to propel you to that next level and bring you back to balance. So these flamingos are bringing a message from heart. They're also asking you to embrace a very trustworthy, long-term romantic partner, or to make another important choice. Maybe it's maybe that is not just a romantic partner, but maybe it's somebody who's platonic, who's just a lovely person. And again, maybe they're the ones that need the forgiveness too. You've had some sort of a trouble with that person, or there's somebody that's entered your life or about to enter your life who's going to be that person for you. Flamingos are very romantic birds. They're very flirtatious, but they're very dedicated to their partners. And that's one of the things that makes them such a great partner and a forever kind of relationship. But ultimately, this card is asking us that we live our life with an open, compassionate heart. Again, not just for others, but for yourself. The next card we have is the Four of Spring. Look at those adorable little otters. All right, so we've got a couple things here. Otters are fun, loving, just joyful, playful little guys. See those two floating down the stream? Well, they're also holding hands, and they do that in real life. So they're also a very good partner. They're a sign of good partnership. The 4 is a sign of a good foundation, just like a chair. Think of the legs of a chair, okay? Or their 4 little paws. This is telling us and reminding us that we have worked hard. We've had some sort of a project, maybe it be at work or in our home life, that we've had to work really, really hard for, and you have been very successful in its completion. Whew, you're on this side of it. Now it's time to have a little fun and kick back and just kind of float for just a little bit. Enjoy yourself. It also signifies a very, very happy home life. It's a very good sign for home. A few of the things that can signify that make a home happy is marriage, children, or a new home. So if you've been considering a move, or if you're trying to get a house, if you know somebody who might be wanting to get pregnant, there might be some messages of that, or again, some message of marriage. So yay, if you're number 2, that's a fun card. I think they all are. Number 1 was too. It's just, Princess of Summer is number 3. Look at that graceful animal. Isn't she beautiful? She's a little princess. When you see a deer, don't you just feel kind of immediately calm and immediately you just are in awe of them? That's what this girl is. She is, he or she is just someone who is very sensitive and kind. They might be someone who expresses their emotions through writing poems, music, they journal a lot. They're not the most mature in expressing their feelings yet because they might be a little bit shy, but they're on their way. And they might not think of things so much in an intellectual nature as they do an emotional. So they might say things like, I feel more than I think, okay? And it's just telling you that there's about to be a highly emotional experience. And you need to seek out some sort of spiritual understanding to this. Don't look at it like it's an intellectual decision. Again, from our message earlier in the week, the number 1, this isn't a decision of the heart. It's not quite as large a decision as those who chose card number 1, the lovers. But look at it with an innocent eye and some grace. Give some grace to it. It could also mean that someone new is entering your life, and it could be that you're the person I described, or that's the person that's coming into your life. So pay special attention. But it's the beginning of a new spiritual insight or an increase in your intuitive abilities. And I'm just going to say that they remind you to be gentle, not just with others, but with yourself once again. So you can see how all 3 of these cards, the meaning's great for all, for everybody, but pay special attention to the card that was yours. I forgot to mention that the the Princess of Summer also, if you're invited to a social event, pretty quick, within the next couple of days or so, you might want to go ahead and say yes to that, because I think there's something special. That could be where you meet that person, but there's some sort of a special message for you, and it's going to come possibly through the invitation to some sort of an outing. So say yes. All right, so that's our 3 cards for the week. If you've enjoyed this and you think that someone else might enjoy it, or you can think of someone who might need this message, please share it with them. It's always good to just share something nice with people, and I would certainly appreciate it. And I think that's really all I have for you today. Remember to come back on Sunday or Monday to check in to see about the card reading for the look at the week ahead. If you need your own reading with some real details in it, especially if any of these resonated with you, especially that major life card, check in with me. Readings, I do them specific to you, and they're in all, I do charge for those, but they're all sorts of price brackets from $15 up. So pretty manageable there. Okay, that's all I have. Have a great week. Mwah.